So today's video is going to be about Fivio Foreign and Jeremih, because as you can see by this side-by-side comparison, they look so much alike. And I always thought his name was Jeremiah, but I guess it's pronounced Jeremih. So he has a very weird name. And Fivio Foreign also has a weird name. So I guess that's something that they both have in common. I've never heard somebody call themselves Fivio or Jeremih. You know, those are both very strange names, but that's besides the point. So as you guys can see, they look so much alike. I've been knowing about this one for a couple months now, and I really wanted to make this video because I couldn't shake the fact that they look extremely alike. You know, right here they look like twins, and right here as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The only difference between these two characters is the fact that Jeremih is a singer and Fivio Foreign is a drill rapper. So that's why Fivio Foreign poses different in his pictures and Jeremih does as well. You know, I noticed that they pose accordingly to the character that they are. They try really hard to pose differently with both characters. That way people won't notice it. But either way, you know, if they look alike, you're going to be able to see it. Like for example, right here, you can really see it. And especially right here. And when I first saw this picture, I thought it was Fivio Foreign, but that's Jeremih. And then here we got Fivio Foreign and Jeremih. So one thing about these characters is they do resemble Diddy a lot. So I do believe that Diddy is the base character because he's the oldest one, and they did make a lot of characters out of Diddy. But if you guys want to see a really good breakdown of Diddy, go watch Divine Sade's video about him, because his most obvious character is Kai Cenat, and Divine Sade made a really good video about that. So I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. You know, Diddy looks way more like Safari and Kai Cenat, but when you do look at these two characters, you do get a slight resemblance of Diddy, because like I said, you know, they love to mix these characters around. And another character that Fivio Foreign is mixed with is the producer London on the track. You know, right here he looks a lot like Fivio Foreign. You know, and right here they both have a blue bandana on. So I don't think that's a coincidence. And although he doesn't look exactly like him, but you can still see that they do share very strong features. And it's not just the hair, you know, you can really see it in the face as well. You know, right here they look so much alike. And then here's London on the track doing symbolism. I find it really disturbing when they do the symbolism in plain sight like this. Alright, so now let's get into all the connections with Jeremih and Fivio Foreign. So Jeremih has this song with 50 Cent and Lil Durk. And this is a big connection because Fivio Foreign is friends with Lil Durk, and they have an unreleased song together as well. And Jeremih came out a long time ago, and Lil Durk did as well. You know, it's crazy how fast time flies because this song was 7 years ago. And I forgot that Jeremih and Lil Durk even had this song together. But this is a major connection because, like I said, Fivio Foreign has an unreleased song with Lil Durk. But the biggest connection here is that Fivio Foreign is really close to King Von. You know, they have 2 songs together. And what really convinced me was the fact that Jeremih is from Chicago. So it makes sense why Fivio Foreign is so close to King Von and Lil Durk. You know, here's a video of Fivio Foreign walking the streets with King Von. I'll play the video for you guys right now.
Yeah, go viral. All the guys outside. Oh my God, they going viral.
And I got that J on.
They going stupid, nigga.
Look, pop.
They going stupid. Bonnie, oh here, come here. Let me see.
The old never too far.
Let me see.
Big GDK.
Viral. The whole love it here. Oh shit, GK, nigga. I was like GK heaven, nigga. Fuck talking about. It's like GK heaven, nigga. I ain't never been nowhere like this, nigga. Crazy. Bow. It's like everybody says they same thing. Hold on. Nah, I love these kids. Hold on. Guys.
What happened?
They don't hit us now. You see what's going on. You see everyone that lose around. Make a right. Keep coming straight. Make that right. Make that right. We got
To the wing.
We got King.
Welcome to the O. But I'm not. See, I never beat. Black and white.
So this is a major connection because Fivio Foreign's not even from Chicago. You know, he's from New York. But it makes sense because his other character is from Chicago and he's friends with Lil Durk as well. And also something I want to mention about this video, just because you see them on the streets, you know, like right here, they're on O Block, that doesn't make them a real person. You know, you guys have to keep in mind that these demons are infiltrating hoods. So to all the people from Chicago and New York, you know, I'm not saying that Fivio Foreign and King Von aren't from where they say they're from, because I bet they did grow up there and everything. But my point here is that they were infiltrating. You know, they were created specifically to infiltrate that street and hang around people that are real. That way when they get famous, you know, people can vouch for them and say that they were real people and they went to school with them or whatever. So just because you went to school with somebody doesn't make them real. And shout out to one of my subscribers that told me that she went to school with Fivio Foreign, and she said that she can't wait for me to make a video about him because it's very disturbing that they're infiltrating in regular high schools and stuff, you know what I mean? So you really could have met these people, but that doesn't change the fact that they were specifically created to infiltrate certain places, and they love involving themselves with real people because they want people to vouch for them and say that they're real so that they can blend in with regular people. But these are demons at the end of the day, and they're not regular humans. I mean, you can really just look at them and you can tell that they're not real humans, you know, especially King Von. Go watch my video about King Von, because his body is so fake, you know, you can even see by this picture alone how fake his body is. But I will be making another video about King Von because there's so many things I want to break down with his scripted death. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that these are not real people. And this also goes to show that gangs are very controlled and scripted. You know, all those gang signs that they throw up are the same hand gestures that are used in Freemasonry and a bunch of other cults. You know, it's no different. Alright, so now let's get into the next connection, which is Kanye West. So Kanye West is also from Chicago, so it makes sense that Jeremih would have a song with him. Jeremih has featured on a couple of songs on Kanye's album, and so has Fivio Foreign. Fivio Foreign has a song with Kanye, and then he also featured on Kanye's recent album with Off the Grid. And once again, this is a major connection because Fivio is not from Chicago. And notice how this song is called City of Gods. You know, they're telling us in plain sight that they're deities. I recommend you guys do your research on deities and mythology because you'll really see what they are. And if you guys want to see me break that down, subscribe to my Patreon. Me and Divine Sade are going to explain every single entity that is out there, and we're going to break that down on our Patreon. So the link to my Patreon is in the description below. But anyways, let's move on to the next connection, which is 50 Cent. So Jeremih and 50 Cent are very close. You know, they have so many songs together, as you guys can see. They have like over 10 songs together. And they also have this song together right here. And this entire cover is full of symbolism. And then here we got a picture of them together. So this is one of the biggest connections because Fivio Foreign was really close friends with Pop Smoke. And Pop Smoke was really close friends with 50 Cent. So this is a big connection right here. And also keep in mind that Fivio Foreign and 50 Cent and Pop Smoke are from New York. So that's why this is a major connection because Jeremih loves to be with 50 Cent. So notice how Jeremih is collabing with a bunch of artists from New York and Chicago. And then Fivio Foreign is collabing with those same artists. So they love to pay homage to their other characters by hanging out with the same people. And if you guys haven't seen my video about Pop Smoke, the link to this video will be in the description below, because this was a really good video and I broke down a bunch of things in this video, so I recommend you guys check that out. Alright, so the next major connection here is Nicki Minaj. So Jeremih has a bunch of songs with Nicki Minaj, and Fivio Foreign also has this song with Nicki Minaj. And once again, Nicki Minaj is from New York, so that explains why both of these characters are collabing with her. The next connection is Ty Dolla $ign. So Jeremih loves Ty Dolla $ign. For some reason, they have so many songs together. So isn't it ironic that Fivio Foreign has an unreleased song with Ty Dolla $ign? You know, these two artists don't even sound like they would go good together on a song. So I found it very weird that they would even have a song together. But now it makes sense because Jeremih is very close to Ty Dolla $ign. Alright, so the next connection is J. Cole. So here we got Jeremih with J. Cole. And one of Jeremih's biggest songs is actually with J. Cole. And the connection here is that Fivio Foreign has this interview where he's talking about how he sent one of his songs to J. Cole and they were supposed to collab or whatever. but they didn't end up collabing because J. Cole is playing basketball right now. And then there's this other video where he's talking about J. Cole and basketball. So I'm going to play those videos for you guys right now.
It's tough. I fuck with this whole movement, you know what I'm saying? I was just asking Wayno, I make this like the only thing in NC that got like this, you know what I'm saying? So shout out J. Cole. I did send him something for the album, you know what I'm saying? He said he wasn't in rapper mode, I'm saying, but it's all good. But this is tough. This is tough. I with it. Energy is good. The vibe is good vibe. It ain't too crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a good.
J. Cole is going to be playing basketball in Canada.
I heard.
Now, how do you feel about that? A rapper turned.
Alright, so now let's get into the Gematria. So Fivio Foreign's real name is Maxi Lee Riles. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And I found it very interesting that his real name matches up perfectly with his stage name. So this goes to show that their real names are also stage names. You know, their real names are scripted for their character. So this is more proof that these characters are created to infiltrate, because what are the chances that his real name matches up perfectly with Fivio Foreign, which is his rap name? You know, it's like they've had this plan since the very beginning of his life. You know, so when he was infiltrating in high school and stuff like that, it was already planned that he was going to be Fivio Foreign. You know, that's why his name matches up perfectly with his stage name. And then I noticed that Murder matches up with his first name. You know, they both equal 83 in the same cipher. And then Jeremiah's real name is Jeremih Philip Felton, and his name equals 283 in the same cipher as Fivio Foreign's real name and Murder. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these characters fakes their death, or if someone around them fakes their death. Pop Smoke already faked his death, and he was around Fivio Foreign a lot. So that's probably the connecting piece here. And I broke down a lot of Gematria with Pop Smoke in my Pop Smoke video, so I recommend you guys check it out. But I did want to show the most obvious one, which is the fact that Killing and Pop Smoke have the same exact Gematria. You know, they both equal 38 in the same cipher, and then Killing equals 43 in the reverse full reduction, and Pop Smoke is 34. So you flip the 43 and you get 34. I showed more Gematria in my Pop Smoke video, so if you guys are interested, go check that out. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the video. You know, I wanted to make a quick little video about this because Jeremiah and Fivio Foreign look so much alike, and the fact that they both hang around all of the same people goes to show that they don't even try to hide this one. You know, they love putting things in plain sight. And one thing I noticed about Jeremiah is he loves doing symbolism in plain sight, man. Like right here, he's really just making it obvious that he's doing one-eye symbolism. You know, like, why would somebody pose for a picture like this? You know what I mean? And then right here, he's doing symbolism again. And he's trying to hide it a little bit, but it's still really obvious. You know, he loves doing symbolism in plain sight. So yeah, Jeremiah is Fivio Foreign, and Fivio Foreign is also mixed with London on the track. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Me and Devon Sade share our Patreon, so you're going to get double the content on there. I just dropped a video on there yesterday and cheated as well. So make sure you guys go subscribe over there. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'm out.